Good morning and welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV of Frederick. My name's Callie Say and I'm in horse trailer sales. For those of you that don't get to see his face very often, this is our general manager, Andrew Lyons, here at Transwest of Frederick. So one of the reasons that we brought him in today is because this is actually his demo trailer. This is a trailer that you're going to see that is currently being used. It's not going to be the clean, pristine trailers that you see out here on the lot that have never had a horse in them. This is one that is getting hauled and having horses in it, and so he's going to be the expert behind this trailer because he did a lot of things to set it up to kind of fit his needs. So we're going to kind of go through and walk through this trailer with him, and I'm going to ask him a ton of questions. If you guys want to comment with any additional questions, he'd be happy to answer them. So
thanks, Callie.
Yeah. To start out, we're going to look right here at this nose. And this is not the typical nose you see on most of our horse trailers. So why did you decide to go with the V-style nose?
The V-style nose is great in a couple of ways. It cuts the wind really well. It works really great. You know, we all travel at interstate speeds a lot of the time now, so that V-nose is very, it's aerodynamic. Some people say, well, I've lost a lot of storage up in the nose, and we're going to look inside today and I'll show you. And you do lose some storage, but you don't lose that much. But the benefits, I think, outweigh, the good and the bad. You always have to weigh, both ways. But I think being aerodynamic, and the other beautiful thing is if you turn your truck really sharp, and we're going to do some more videos tomorrow, we'll show some turning. You can turn a truck past 90 degrees and you don't have to worry about this part of your truck here coming into contact with this unless you get way past 90 degrees. So a couple of little safety things there, and then you save some fuel mileage as well.
And I've pulled these style of trailers, and if you didn't have to ever sleep up in the nose, throw a bed up in there, this is the way to go, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, this is a big trailer, and we'll go around it, but you'd be amazed how well it pulls. Between the V-nose, air ride, different setup on some tires and wheels, and we'll talk about that as we go around, but this trailer pulls amazingly well. And obviously we pull it with a truck just like this. This is my truck, pulls it amazingly well. So yeah, as we go around, we'll tell more of the story as we go.
All right. So this is a 36-foot 6-inch trailer on the floor. That's from the box back. And then you've got 7'10" tall and 7'6" wide. And why do we have this trailer so big?
It's made for big horses. A lot of the horses that go in this trailer are 17-1, 17-2 hands. So they're big horses. They need a lot of room. They need a lot of room to get in and out. And as we go back here later too, I'll show you some more of that. But that's why. And it's basically set up as a 4-horse, can be 5, especially if you want to throw a pony in the center. And the 7'6" wide, I believe they tow a lot better. They don't cut as much wind. And with a 4-horse head-to-head, I don't need the 8 wide. And we'll get into that when we get inside.
So right up here, this is something that's pretty standard on a 4-horse head-to-head. What's not standard is what we've got in the rear on this trailer. So right up here, you have a 4-foot front tack, but there's no saddle racks up here. And you'll see why here soon. So you did a lot of things in here that I'm kind of curious about.
Yeah, it's basically set up for simple storage. You can throw carts, boxes, wagons, whatever up in here. You can throw hay, you can throw feed. In there we'll talk about the storage in the nose, kind of our essentials up there. We've got a tool kit. In here we've got a lug wrench and a wheel ramp and a big block of wood, in case you need something on the side of the road. But you've still got, and that's what we talked about earlier, there's still a lot of storage up there.
So how come you didn't carpet the nose on this trailer?
Because of hay.
Because of hay?
Sometimes we haul hay in it, so.
So you wanted something that was really easy to clean out?
Yeah, easy to clean. And
is that the same reason you went with the rubber mats on the floor on this trailer?
Same with the mats on the floor, yes. I didn't do windows in the nose. That's a little bit different than some trailers as well. And the same reason there, I don't need them because it's not, typically you're not sleeping in a trailer like this, so.
Now down on the floor, you've got a ring down there.
That's to tie the bikes. Some of the shows we go to, we take either bicycles or electric bikes and stuff. It's to tie those down.
Tie down.
There's one on the front wall too. You can't see it, but it's there.
And you've got carpeting behind the bridle hooks here. How come you did carpeting on this entire partition wall here?
We carpeted it just to make it look cleaner, and because the aluminum gets marked up like you'll see on the other wall, we figured we could cover it if we needed to. And then I basically left options for later on if I wanted to add hooks, or if a customer ended up with it and wanted to hang hooks, you know, have hanging hooks for bridles, halters, etc. And that way it was already there.
Yeah. And that's something that our shop can do. If you need more bridle hooks in this trailer, we can easily add this on.
One of the interesting things about the way this trailer is set up, it doesn't have as many hooks as some trailers, and that's because a lot of the English tack where this trailer ends up is in boxes. You know, they use carts and boxes and crates and all kinds of stuff, and they don't. A Western trailer, nearly every bridle will hang. In this trailer, most of the stuff goes in a tack trunk. So that's another reason they're set up a little bit different.
And even though this is a demo, this trailer is for sale. So if you really, really like the setup of this, we do have this one on our website. So right down here, it's 7.6 wide, but something that you'll notice is on a lot of trailers that are 7.6 wide, we still have the running board sticking out. How come you did away with the running board on this trailer?
On this trailer, I did away with the running boards because I don't think I'll ever need them. I don't like the ability for a horse to stand on a running board, and it keeps a trailer clean. This trailer will probably rarely ever have a horse tied to it anyway, but it just gives it a smooth, clean look. I'm not getting up on the side of this trailer a lot. Most of this trailer is, the way it's going to haul is going to be set up before you leave. You can still open and close these drops. It's going to be a little bit more of a challenge, but I just like that, you know, I just like the clean look.
And I'm not very tall, I have T-Rex arms, and I was able to easily put these down with the air ride up from this slanted side. So
and
it is.
If you'll notice, those drop downs are lowered so that you can actually do that.
Yeah. So we've got big bus windows here. One thing you'll notice is you did a ton of running lights up here, or these button lights.
Yeah, I just like lights.
Just like make it really bright going down the road. Looks like a semi.
At night, and it's a safety factor. I mean, you know, if you're going across an intersection, people can actually see this trailer. There's a lot of light. You know, I like a lot of lights. There's extra, well, they're not really extra, but it has the double buttons above the wheels as well. So the reflector tape also helps. So
people see this thing coming. So before we go into the horse area, let's kind of talk about what you did back here. These are some big tires.
So this trailer is on 19.5 tires and wheels. I really like the big tires and wheels because they turn slower, they build less heat, and I have more load capacity. So what that means in the big picture is less tire troubles. A trailer like this, I'm not saying you can't get a flat tire, but this trailer is going to have a great long life with very, very little tire trouble. And there's a couple of reasons for that. The air ride makes a big difference. The bigger tire, like I said earlier, the bigger the tire is, it turns slower at highway speeds. So if that tire is slower, there's less heat, there's literally less heat buildup. And it also lasts, you know, it's just a factor of, it takes longer to turn a circle, it actually lasts longer. So you've got more rubber, lasts longer, it's beefier. No one likes changing tires on the side of the road in the middle of the night or the middle of the day when it's really hot. So I always caution to the side of having more wheel and tire and axle than you really need. But it's like a cheap insurance policy. You know, we talk about the cost of trailers, and think about this. There's the lowest price and then there's the lowest cost. So what I mean by that is you can build this trailer for less money, but a few years down the road you're spending more money on it, working on it, fixing it, doing stuff, doing maintenance. So I like to spend a little bit more up front, and the maintenance down the road will be a lot less.
Do it right the first time.
Yeah, and it's that simple, and it saves a lot of headaches. We see so many trailers, you know, out there that are under tired, under axle. Every summer when it gets hot, they start blowing tires. You know, with a setup like this is also a spread axle. It makes them ride a little bit better. It makes them pull a little bit better. Not a huge difference, but a little bit better. Gives it a good clean look. You know, and like I said, you know, good axles, good tires, good wheels. It's a cheap insurance policy. You can go down the road, you can run a lot of miles in this trailer and you don't have to worry about it.
And here at Transwest, we do some other stuff to kind of prevent some tire issues. Here at Transwest, we do alignments on our trailers. So any trailers over 26 feet, all of our used trailers, this definitely qualifies.
Yeah, a trailer like this, it'll have an alignment done on it before it ever leaves here. I mean, and I believe in it. Makes your tires run cooler, makes them last longer. If your wheels are headed all in the same direction, it's that simple. They last longer, they run cooler, less blowouts, all that stuff. So it's a really good, this is a good way to set up a trailer. This is a trailer you can pull for a lot of miles and have very little issue. The air ride is up right now, yes.
And he did a very extensive video on air ride systems. So if you guys want to check that out, he'll kind of go more.
Yeah, we'll tag it, and tomorrow morning I'm going to do another video on this trailer. There's a couple other things going on here too. The rear axle on this trailer has a dump, so you can take all the pressure off the rear axle if you want to turn around tight or you need to get in and out of somewhere tight. The rear axle has a dump on it, and we'll play with that in the morning after we load some horses and show you that. Where are we going next?
So we're going up into the stall area. So right here, this is not a typical 4-horse head-to-head. We have just the one ramp going into these stall areas. Right now we've got it aired up and on an incline, so it's not usually so steep for your horses getting in.
You know, while we're here, let's back up.
Okay.
I want to show everybody something. How much of the side of the trailer can you get? This trailer is set up differently, and we'll show you in the back, but the tack room is in the back. And this is a head-to-head trailer, and I want you to look at where the axles are located and the clearance between the side ramp and the front of the wheel, the front of the front wheel. And there's a couple of reasons we do this. You can get a 4-horse head-to-head or a 6-horse head-to-head like this to actually balance properly and get the axles where they should be when you put the tack room in the back. If your tack room, your storage and everything is in the front, and then your last set of horses are at the back, it's really hard to engineer one of these trailers correctly and get the ramp where it should be, to get the axles where they should be, and get everything to load correctly. And I also like on this trailer, there's a good amount of clearance between the axle frame and the ramp, and that makes for a stronger trailer. And you'll even see on this trailer, the beam underneath the ramp extends past the ramp, and that makes it even stronger. We're going inside now?
We're going inside.
Yeah. I'll let you go in first, and then you can.
So as I mentioned before, this is a trailer that's currently being used, so you're not going to see us.
Yeah, you get to see a trailer the way it really exists. So.
Yeah. So in this trailer, you've got the 2 stalls up front. The 2 horses can ride backwards, and then you said you've actually ridden with a 5th horse here quite frequently.
You can fit an extra horse in here. This has had a pony in here. You can put a pretty good sized horse in here. But at the end of the day, this is really a 4-horse. It's just set up for big horses so that they can travel safely and comfortably. At the end of the day, that's really what it's for. You've got a lot of room. You've got a tack room in the back. We'll get back there in a little bit. And then, like I said, tack room, 4 horses, maybe an extra one. Or you could put a golf cart, you could put a bike, extra tack, whatever in here, hay, whatever, and then there's more storage in the front as well. So.
And you were telling me that you really like this setup earlier because while your horses are loaded on this, you can actually come through this.
Yeah, you can come in from the outside. You don't have to touch your ramp. You can come in, you can feed, water, whatever you need to do with horses, check on them. There's a camera in here also. I like camera systems. That way, when you're traveling down the road, if a horse gets to bouncing around, you can see what's going on. It's really nice. That way, you don't have to worry.
So A lot of people do ask us about what kind of camera systems we use on these trailers. Kind of why did you pick this one and what are the benefits?
There's a lot of different ways to do cameras. You can do wired and wireless. I like the wireless if I'm switching trucks and trailers a lot because then I don't have to run new cords and stuff. Corded cameras are probably more reliable, but they're more work to install. So if you do go wireless, you have to go with a higher quality camera, but we can put some links on there and I can help people get set up with camera systems.
Sounds good. That seems like a pretty frequent question lately.
Yeah, and they do work really well. It's so nice to be able to just look down at a monitor and check your horses while you're traveling. You don't drive 6 hours and wonder if everybody's still standing up.
Without having to check all the time.
Yeah.
So right here, let's start kind of in these stalls over here. So you can actually make these into 2 big box stalls, correct?
That is correct, yep. It all comes out if you want it to.
All right. So this is kind of something that we don't typically have. We have these wraparound hinges that go all the way, so you can kind of...
this gate will lay flat.
Number one, on a lot of our trailers, we have, a little bit more room in front of that ramp. So having it hinged that way is, there's just not room to walk horses out with that.
Yeah, I like this setup because it's very simple. A horse can come up the ramp, you can put their nose all the way over here and then simply just and back them in, and you got a lot of room. And I'll go back to the 8-foot versus the 7.6 wide scenario here. If this trailer was an 8 wide, all we would gain here is extra width above the fender. The fender would still be in the same place. This fender doesn't go out. So to me, there's no reason to make the trailer wider when you already have a fender that's going to be there. So, I mean, that's a big stall. I don't know how well everyone can see it, but you can put a 17.2, plus horse in there, and they've got lots of room. It works really well.
On a lot of our head-to-heads in the past, they've been only 6'10" wide. And it's just nice to have a little bit of extra space for those horses in those stalls.
Yeah, it gives you extra room in here, and it also gives you extra room when you lead the horse in, and then you've got to back them into the stall. You've got extra width here to get the angle so that they can back down in there. Perfect. If you've got a horse that's not sure about backing in that stall, you can actually do this. We'll see how everybody can get reconfigured. So you can literally lead a horse up the ramp, lead them in there, and then back them in there. And the same goes for this side. You can bring this horse, if you got a young horse or a horse that's not as confident about loading, you can actually come up the ramp, come into here and then back, and then load your older, your horses that are more confident last up here. Or you can do it in the reverse as well. Same even unloading if you have to. So this system works extremely well, and it's safe.
So right up here, you do have vents over each basically box stall.
Yeah, I like to be able to move air, so nice vents over each stall.
Now, do you feel like these give you more air options than like just a pop vent for the roofs?
Yeah, it's literally a bigger hole, so there's more airflow. So. Very simple, and hot air goes up, so you can literally run with these vents cracked like that, and it'll pull the hot air out as you go.
And we live in Colorado, and we have a lot of issues with hail. How come you don't worry so much about those getting shattered?
Those vents have metal lids on them. We could do those here or bring them in like that from the factory, but those vents have metal lids, so they're not going to shatter in a hailstorm. Yeah.
Perfect. Because we've got our Cimarron roofs, and these roofs, he's going to grab
you got to move out of the way because we got to show you something. I love doing this. Don't do this to a trailer with an aluminum roof, everybody, so you know. But these trailers, you can do that to the roof.
You can jump up and down on them.
You can jump up and down. They're protected from needles from the sky. Watch Callie's videos and you'll know what that means. But yeah, don't do that to an aluminum roof trailer because you'll be turning in a hail claim.
Yeah, they'll be wondering why the dents are the wrong way.
The dent's the wrong way.
Yeah. So these roofs also keep your horses a lot cooler in here. It is really hot today outside.
It's
We were
hot,
sweating
yeah.
up a storm.
And you can, Callie probably can't reach
I
it, but
cannot reach it.
the roof is cool. It's
Yeah.
amazing what it does. If you do this and then go over to an aluminum roof trailer, you can't leave your hand on it.
Like I'm cooling down in here, and we've got some airflow, but we're not moving right now, so it just kind of shows you how having the insulated roof, having the amount of windows and drop downs in this
It's
trailer.
cooler in here than it is outside by far.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
And we don't even have, well, we have most of the windows open, but not all of them. So.
yeah. So this stall area, you run with shavings.
Yeah, I
do you-
always run with shavings, but
Do you recommend worm to anyone?
it's a good floor. I like it because you don't have to drag mats in and out. The thing about worm, once it's in there, you got to remember it's in there. It's not coming out. You're not changing it, but it works really well, especially for people that don't want to take mats in and out. It works really well. So
Awesome. All right. Anything else in here you want to talk about?
I think we're good for
I
now.
think we got the gist of it.
We talked about axles, so we'll leave that, more of that for tomorrow. Yeah, each stall has a big sliding window and a drop down. So a lot of ventilation. You can get to a horse show, and if you want to, leave horses in the trailer because you've got plenty of ventilation, and just take out the horse that you're showing.
As we discussed, it's way cooler in there, and
It's
we're not
cooler.
even moving.
It's cooler for the horses to be in there than it is to be standing out in the sun.
All right, so this back here is not something you typically see on a 4-horse head-to-head.
Yeah, this
walk us through
is
this.
different. And there's a couple of reasons, and it goes back to earlier we talked about when we were looking at the side of the trailer. When I put the tack room on the rear, I can get the axles and the ramp where I want them to make a trailer pull correctly and to get the balance right. There's a couple other benefits that I like. If someone ever rear ends this trailer, when it's got horses in it, I've got another buffer zone. I've got another whole buffer zone before anything happens to the horses. So I like that fact. The other thing is with this roll-up door, when you stop somewhere to unload, you can have several people unloading out of here, and you can just, it's amazing. Because you're not walking around a door or holding a door in the wind, you can just stop and unload, and it's very fast. It's very easy to get in and out of.
Do you want to show them how it operates?
Yeah, it's very simple. I mean, there's a step here obviously where you can put up and down. Very simple, clean, easy. I like it a lot. We haven't built a lot of trailers like this. A lot of people with head-to-heads like to be able to lead, to have the option to lead horses in from the rear of the trailer, which this setup doesn't allow that. So it is a little bit of a change, but with the way we've got the stall set up inside, we've never had problems loading horses. So I really like this setup, and it makes these trailers pull so much better.
All right, so up in here, so this is a 6-foot rear tack. You've got your removable saddle rack post. Do you guys end up taking this out a lot?
Most of the time it ends up out, yeah.
Yeah, and that's just because most of the time you're just hauling
Everything's
the show
in
boxes.
trunks, yeah.
It's nice to have the option though. We've got lots of bridle hooks back here. Like we said, that front tack was mostly just set up as extra storage.
Yeah, we'll go to a show and you'll have stall fronts, buckets, all your feed, tack trunks, mats for tack stalls. I mean, you just end up with a lot of stuff.
And these rubber mats here, I'm sure, make it really easy to just sweep out.
Yeah, I
clean
like
up
the
real
mats
easy.
because you can wash them out, sweep them out. There's another mat laying there that, we leave there, and then when we get to a show, it'll go into a tack stall. We've taken some of the stuff out, obviously, for today's shoot, but some of the basic stuff's still in there.
And this has the optic right and lights in the Yep, so we've done OptiBrite on this entire trailer for the interiors.
All LED lights, yeah. Tail lights, we got the double tail lights, load lights.
When did you guys start using OptiBrite lights?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
We'll have to have Ben chime in and help us out here.
What is the benefit of an LED light?
LED lights draw less power, they're cooler, and they typically last longer. Some of the first editions of LEDs did not, but the LEDs today, you lose very few bulbs. I mean, it's basically once you set a trailer up, you're set up. You don't have to go back and work on it.
And are they typically brighter too?
They're brighter. If you want to be really technical, as brake lights, they're faster. When they get a brake signal, the lights are full brightness faster, which gives the people behind you more time to react. But I mean, now you're talking down into tenths of a second, but it is a fact that they're faster.
And you've been building trailers for a long time, right?
I've been in the trailer business since 1999.
1999.
So I've had a little practice.
So you can tell when he sets up a trailer for himself, he's got a lot of things he's working with.
Yeah, I've learned a lot along the way.
So on this side, it's a little easier to see all those button lights we've got.
Yeah, this side's pretty simple. A couple of drop downs. You've got obviously it's a smaller, easier door to get in and out of when you're on the road. That's really all that's for, is on the road if you want to get in and check on a horse or feed or water horses. I mean, we'll load horses in this trailer and run. I mean, you can run literally a 12-hour day, you know, and have a couple of breaks in there, but that way you can get in and feed and water horses, and it's no big deal. And with the way the suspension and the way this trailer's set up, horses on here for 12 hours, interstate speeds, get off like nothing's ever happened. I mean, they'll literally come off a trailer like this fresh.
You can usually show up to the shows a little bit later.
Yeah, you can show up. I can go into a show a day later than everybody else, because everybody else is laying horses up, you know, trying to get them back, you know, because they show up on trailers that aren't set up this well. Those horses will show up sore and beat up and just tired, and we can actually go in a day later, you know, and the horses will be ready to go.
So
what else, Callie?
Well, we did a step here, and that's just primarily because you don't have running board down below.
The step, I like to put a paddle latch over these doors.
Don't want to let the ponies out.
That way it's an extra. It has the regular latch, so if you're going in and out, you can just use this, but once you're traveling, I like the extra.
Ben did chime in. He said that Cimarron was the first company to use OptiBrite lights in 2014.
Thank you, Ben.
Cimarron's the first one to use OptiBrite lights. So back here.
Is to operate the drop down?
Oh yeah.
I'll have Callie do it because she's shorter than me. It's easy for me.
It is pretty easy. So I go up nice and easy, and I don't even have to stand on my tiptoes for this one right here. I latch back nice and easy. And I'd like to point out that when I was dropping all these down, they were raising this trailer up to put it on the truck. So it's actually easier than I thought it was going to be.
That's most of the
Most
back
of the side.
part. We'll go up front.
Yeah, we did a lot on the other side. So right here, let's kind of start this way and we'll work our way under. So what's this light right here going to do for you?
This light here is an indicator that my axle dump is on. Like I said earlier, this trailer, the rear axle has a dump on it. And in the morning, we're going to do some demonstrations on that. But while that axle dump is activated, that light is on. So what that means is it's basically, it's a way so that you can tell that if your axle dump's on, because you don't want to run down the highway with your axle dump activated, because then you're only running on one axle. It's okay in a parking lot when you're going slow to use that axle dump, but you don't want to run highway speeds with it on. So we always put a light on there, that light there, just so you don't forget about it, basically. That's what it's for.
Can you get the axle dump anywhere, or are we the only ones that do it?
Right now, we're the only ones that I know of that do the axle dump. And most of the time, we only do them on triple axles. and it's a huge benefit on a triple axle trailer. I don't do a lot of double axle trailers, but I did this one to do some testing, and yeah, I really like it, because this trailer here, and like I said, we'll show you in the morning, but this trailer here, you can crank it around as hard as you want, and that back axle will just slide across the ground and it won't bite in. So it really takes a lot of stress off your bearings and your hubs and tires, wheels, all that stuff when you're turning around. Especially you get loaded heavy on a hot day on blacktop and turn around tight. When everything's sticky, it's really hard on your axles. So that's where I really like that. If you've got to pull in and out of a gas station, something like that, when everyone crowds you in and you've got to turn tight, it works really well. So great little add-on there.
So right up here, we've got the enclosure in here. We've got another roll-up door. Is that just because you wanted it to look a little cleaner, to protect it?
I like the clean look of the roll-up door. I actually have some extra storage in there. I threw a mat in there. You can throw, there's probably something even in there.
Windshield wiper fluid,
Yeah, I throw DEF for my truck in there, windshield wiper fluid, any extra stuff you've got. So it's a great storage area, and then that door keeps everything clean. So
got an electric over hydraulic jack. Now, do you want to talk a little bit about these Lion Energy batteries that you've put on this trailer?
So those batteries are lithium. They're by Lion Energy. It's a company that we do a lot of business with, and they're great because they charge really fast. They're very powerful. If they go, I shouldn't say if they go dead. If they run low enough, they automatically cut themselves off, so they won't hurt themselves. A lead acid battery, if it gets drained and then freezes, it's destroyed. Those batteries will go down to a certain voltage, shut themselves off. If they freeze, it doesn't matter. So they'll last for, I don't know, we don't know how long they're going to last yet. I mean, they put a limited lifetime warranty on them, and we've been using them a lot in RVs and horse trailers and stuff, and they work really well.
It's just nice. When they go, if they turn themselves off, do you still have enough time to hook them up?
Yeah, even if they turn themselves off, there's a button on them, you can hit the reset button, and you still have enough to run the jack at least once, sometimes even twice, to hook your truck up, or hook up, unhook, whatever you need to do. Should be an air ride box in there somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Very simple. We've talked about that in other videos, but there's basically an on and off switch for the pump, and then a valve to dump the air ride.
Now, is there any maintenance you have to keep an eye on for your air ride systems, or are they pretty
The only
easy to
maintenance that we need to do on the air ride system is to drain the air tank. There's a little cord there somewhere. You should be able to see. We'll see how. Yeah, just like that. That's why you got to drain your air tank, because it gets moisture in it from when the compressor heats and cools. It gets moisture in there, so you got to drain the tank.
So, a lot of people may be a little bit nervous about having an air ride system. You're still running on rubber torsion axles if anything were ever to happen to them.
Yeah, even if this air ride was to completely go out, you're still on rubber torsion axles like most of the other trailers in the business.
Why are there 2 battery disconnects in the box?
Because the way I have this trailer set up, just basically for testing and to do some extra stuff, I have a shutoff for each battery. Typically you don't see that, but like I said, this trailer we've been doing some testing and playing. There is another benefit to this door that we don't talk about very much, but when this is down, not only does it clean up the front of this trailer, but it eliminates that cavity that catches air. So that is another benefit to making this trailer aerodynamic. That alone, I don't think you can make a huge case for fuel mileage and stuff, but when you start adding all the little pieces, the V-nose, this is enclosed and it's smooth, so the air slides off. Like I said, the bigger tires and wheels, little narrow trailer, when you start adding all those pieces together, it makes a big difference. You know, you can run, like I said before, interstate speeds with this trailer in a truck like this. As long as you're not bucking a big wind or something, you'll get up in that 13, 14 mile per gallon range, which is pretty good pulling a trailer this size.
Absolutely. So since this is your demo, is there anything that you would have changed, or is there anything that you really, really love about this trailer that you think should be on additional trailers going forward?
This trailer pulls awesome. Probably the best thing about this trailer is the way it pulls. So that part, you know, if I was to just go and reproduce this trailer, I would set it up very, very similar as far as the axle location and the way it all lays out. There's always little things that I like to add and play with. Lighting, maybe got something else. Cimarron's got something else. Door latches and catches we're always playing. But it's pretty, I mean, this trailer's pretty, it's pretty solid. There's not a lot to change. I mean, I always build stuff to experiment, so sometimes I'll build a trailer that I'll put something on it and it doesn't work. I mean, but that's what we've got to do to learn, you know. But this one's pretty close. I like, this is a really good, it's a really good trailer.
Perfect. All right, anything else?
The horses like it and I like pulling it, so.
It's a win-win. Anything else you want to add about this trailer?
No, I think that's it for today.
You guys tune in.
Oh, I better not pull the door holdbacks off, but combo locks, that's another favorite of mine.
Mm-hmm.
I know we've talked about them before, but then you
nice.
don't have to pack around keys.
Because you hear a lot of stories of people losing their keys on trail rides or at the show, and then they're locked out of their trailers. Have to call
the combo locks are awesome. You literally, and it's locked.
Super easy. All right,
well,
guys.
what else do we need to cover today?
I think we probably hit it all for now. If you guys have extra questions, he's going to be doing a video on this trailer tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning, yeah.
Where he's actually loading horses in it.
Loading
correct?
horses, turning it around in the parking lot,
Yeah.
playing with the axle dump, all that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, so tune in tomorrow. If you guys have questions that we didn't answer today, just leave them in the comments section and he'll get to them tomorrow. If you guys want to look this trailer up online, like I said, we do have it listed. It is a 2019 Cimarron Norstar 4-horse head-to-head. The stock number is 5N181267.
It will be at the Colorado Horse Park early next month.
So if you guys want to check it out in person, it'll be here for another day, and then it'll be down at the shows. So thanks for tuning in.
Yes.
My name is Callie Say. If you guys have any questions, you can reach me at 970-309-6368. This is Andrew Lyons. If you have any customer complaints, go ahead and direct them towards him.
If you have any questions, let us know. Thank you.
Thank you.